This is my reaction to Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, which just took place in the main event of UFC 324, where Justin Gaethje won the fight by decision over Paddy Pimblett. He wins the interim title in what was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my entire life of watching this sport. I've seen so many fights, and even before I was into this sport, I've watched back older fights from the past. This is up there with one of the greatest fights of all time. An absolute legendary fight to kick off the Paramount era in their first main event on pay-per-view. I have no idea. Listen, Justin Gaethje won.
Justin Gaethje just overcame Paddy Pimblett via decision at UFC 34's main event, seizing the interim title in what can only be called one of the finest contests I have ever seen watching this sport. This wasn't merely a decent brawl, it truly was an epic display, the ideal frenzied beginning for the Paramount era's inaugural pay-per-view headliner. The aggression was incessant, stunned. Questioning
I have no idea how Paddy Pimblett did not get flatline KO'd on about 50 different occasions. If he lost, yes, he did lose, and if he lost any stock from this, the one saving grace is that he's been saying for a long time, we don't get knocked out, lad. And that would be the worst thing to happen to him. If he got KO'd in one of these fights badly, that would just be his ridicule forever. What happened to Scousers don't get knocked out, and it'd just be images of Paddy Pimblett out cold. I have no idea how he didn't get flatlined in this fight. Justin Gaethje was cracking him with so many overhand rights. And the worst part was, it's not...
I can't fathom how he wasn't completely KO'd on 50 different instances in this fight. He withstood so many crushing overhand rights from Gaethje, shots that would instantly drop other elite combatants. Yet somehow he stayed conscious, still throwing, defying all logic and natural physical laws. It was a testament to a chin that felt otherworldly.
It's gonna be seen as biased for me to bring this up. I bring up fouls in every fight breakdown I do. I know I wanted Paddy to win, but I am gonna bring up the fouls. Gaethje fought very fucking dirty in this fight. A lot of eye pokes, a groin shot as well. I think Paddy Pimblett had a groin shot that he landed too, but that was towards the end of the fight where it was just an absolute mess of a scrap between the two of them. But Gaethje landed some really, really bad eye pokes on him. But it doesn't matter, because the result is the result. Pimblett gets beaten over 5 rounds. At one point in the third, and we can go through this bit by bit, round 1 through round 5. Round 1...
What Pimblett's resilience made more astonishing was how he took the shot, either throwing strikes or absorbing them. Frequently, he ended encounters with his chin held high, his full jaw exposed, taking shots cleanly. When Gaethje wound up, I physically flinched, foreseeing the unavoidable knockout, but it never arrived. He seemed simply there to be hit, yet in such a strange, resilient way that the blow somehow didn't stop him.
She not wobbled by any of these shots. Gaethje's chin is absolutely insane as well. That needs to be mentioned too. Pimblett was landing body kicks, knees to the body, low kicks, wasn't shooting any takedowns. Because I picked the mixed martial artist to win. So he was just duking it out with Gaethje in round 1 and 2. Low kicks, body kicks, head kicks out of nowhere, uppercuts, hooks. He was landing good shots on Gaethje. And Gaethje just at one point said, it's nothing, like that to him, and was just eating these shots. And then when Gaethje got going after the eye poke that he landed on Pimblett, which was pretty bad, and I was thinking, oh my god, no.
The bout held its share of disputes. Gaethje fought remarkably foul in this contest, landing multiple. A dubious low blow late in the bout amidst the mayhem. Gaethje's infractions were flagrant and occurred at crucial times, altering the rhythm and equity of some already crazy content.
To the body, teeps, low kicks, knees, punches, chin up in the air. You're wondering every time, when is he going to get slept? There's so many moments, and I was screaming, yes, we are DDP, basically, in the middle of this, because it was just like, dude, this is plot armor. How is he surviving these moments so narrowly, with millimeters to spare? Gaethje swinging these overhooks, and it's not even like Pimblett was landing and then weaving and then, you know, like coolly slipping out of the way of these shots. He was just there to be hit, but in such an awkward way that the shots were just whizzing past his head and face on so many occasions. I really thought this is it. That he is...
A certain one first confused me. Gaethje gazed, slightly wary, and Pimblett took advantage, landing it clean. body blows. Briefly, it truly looked as if Paddy would achieve the impossible and defeat Gacy. My whole mind was focused on Pimblett truly pulling this off. This unforeseen beginning instantly grabbed attention, establishing a fierce mood for the remainder of the
thing up against the cage in round 2, and then Gaethje cracks him with an overhand and drops him really bad in round 2. And it should be mentioned, a lot of the damage on Pimblett came from that moment. Amazing performance from Gaethje, turned back the clock. I thought Pimblett was going to win, don't get me wrong. But he did thumb him in the eye, and Goddard did nothing about it, even though he warned him about the eye poke before. Thumbed him in the eye, and then cracked him with a right hand that dropped him after that, and Pimblett sunk. And proceeded to really badly beat the shit out of Pimblett on the ground with ground and pound for about a minute straight. I think round 2 could be scored at 10-8, so even if you took a point...
Truly wild, honestly. Despite Pimblett landing some unbelievably powerful low kicks, body kicks, and even head kicks from nowhere, Gages merely walked through. He appeared to absorb the hits initially, almost as though to steel himself against them, not allowing any surprise. He kept tightly guarded and absorbed every blow Pimblett threw, demonstrating an iron jaw that scant few in the...
Maybe not the same version, but if he lands this on other fighters, they are going out. We've seen it. We've seen other fighters get put out by that. But this is like Ferguson level chin, prime Ferguson level chin from Paddy Pimblett. Hopefully he doesn't have a similar trajectory after the Gaethje fight, but he was eating some heaters off of Gaethje in round 4. Still landing his own back and having some good moments, but this is when it started to go bad. Like he would have a moment, then slip, end up on bottom. Gaethje's on top in that north-south, punching him in the head over and over again. Round 5, Gaethje won the 5th maybe, looking back at these stats, but Pimblett kind of had him wobbled at one point in the round, so I think that could maybe sway it a little bit, but one judge or...
Really nasty eye poke by halted the contest. My mind instantly went to Tom Aspinall and fellow British competitors whose title fights ended contentiously, but Pimblett, eyes wide open, persevered. He carried on battling just to be severely hurt by another shot following the foul. This was a savage moment which showcased both Gaethje's mercilessness and Pimblett's resolute spirit.
I still can't believe what I watched. When I compare this to other great fights in UFC history, Gustafsson gets, that was a shit fight for 3 rounds. Then it was 4th round, Gustafsson was doing good, and then he gets wobbled by the really good ending of the 4th round. And then round 5 was a decent round as well. But this comparable stuff, but with more chaos on the feet in terms of the shots they were landing on each other. Non-stop violence, because these weren't like tappy shots that they were landing on each other, you know? It wasn't like 27
After the eye poke, Gaethje launched a brutal offensive. He floored Pimblett hard in the 2nd round via an overhand right. Following a minute-long savage ground and pound flurry, it counted as a 10-8, a key point that rendered winning extremely tough for Pimblett without him achieving a finish. Pimblett's endurance during these periods seemed like pure narrative luck. He absorbed tremendous blows to the jaw, yet somehow he'd rebound, regain his footing, and begin returning fire as if he wasn't just concussed. His narrow escapes from disaster by mere millimeters left me screaming at the screen, wondering how one could withstand such a ceaseless high-level barrage. While observing this fight, one couldn't but think of Ilia Topuria. The pure extent of wild aggression and jaw-checking instances made it appear as though Ilia would be salivating. Observing these two clash while it was a sick fight to watch, the comparison highlight making the wildness of this bout even more apparent. Round 3 marked a huge change in momentum. Pimblett, despite past beatings, found new energy and started to dominate. He led in significant strikes, breaking down Gaethje with accuracy and power. I truly believed he would seize control and claim a TKO victory, watching him pull away with scores and finally causing clear damage on the previously... Pimblett's assault in the 3rd round was unyielding. He commenced connecting with all his strikes, jabs, body shots, low kicks, and Gaethje started to visibly wobble, losing his footing and sensing the full force of the damage. Pimblett's persistent body shots and leg kicks were now... Initially on the defensive, he mounted one of the most thrilling comebacks inside an already wild contest. Just as Pimblett gained significant momentum in round 3, landing a jump knee, he regrettably struck Gaethje's groin, causing another brief pause. pause. This briefly halted his phenomenal charge, yet remarkably, he still managed to finish the round strong, demonstrating a capacity to recompose and maintain his offense despite the accidental foul. Gaethje, always the tenacious warrior, found his timing again in round 4. He began utilizing his jab with precision, which then opened up his devastating overhand rights. Still, the question lingered. Gaethje connected with 3 consecutive overhand rights at one point to put fighters down. It was a clinic in sheer toughness from both guys. Pimblett's jaw during this bout was truly peak Ferguson standard. We've seen what Gaethje's overhand rights do to other elite fighters, but Paddy absorbed them like no other. He took some huge bombs in round 4, still managing to connect his own blows and have good spells despite being close to being knocked out. It was a showing of grit that verged on reckless, but waning. The figures for this bout quite strike. It fails to fully convey it. These hits weren't light taps. Almost every strike deemed significant was a massive hit landed squarely. The ceaseless brutality and the sheer force within each exchange made this an extremely hard contest to score. Since both men, his conditioning was a big shock. Though worries arose about his energy late on, he displayed amazing resilience, constantly launching insane hurt and within the most desperate scenarios. He kept driving, showing he could complete all 5 rounds with an elite lightweight, a key insight that alters views on his future prospects. The controversial dirty fighting early on from Gaethje, specifically his eye pokes, stayed a sore point. Though happens in contests, the absence, especially considering the severe nature of certain fouls, it represents an unfortunate aspect of an otherwise legendary fight, raising questions about refereeing standards within high-stakes bouts. This fight wasn't just good, it was essential for UFC 34. The remainder of the card mostly disappointed with several uninspired contests and peculiar production problems. Ending the card desperately needed. It was a brutal contest, justifying the matchup even with early fan criticism, and commencing the Paramount era with a truly memorable display. In the end, this bout between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett is quickly acclaimed as a strong candidate for Fight of the Year, possibly even among the all-time best UFC battles. It surpasses comparisons to fights such as Jones-Gustafsson, where the action only truly exploded later on, and ranks with Jerry Glover for its ceaseless, wild, relentless brutality. Both combatants gained vast admiration, providing a legendary